No.
What day today has been?
Bullshit day.
All right, you know what? We don't even have to go through the
Bullshit day.
intro, Brandon. You start. You start. What?
Here's the thing.
Vent a little bit to us.
I mean, I think all of Oklahoma fan base can vent for a minute. You know, once Billy Bowman recovers a fumble, we score a touchdown, 23-16 with 2 minutes left in the contest. The game should be over. And then it's a 3rd and 16. And there's a motherfucker wide open down the sideline. And they convert. And then, of all fucking people, Theo Lee scores a touchdown to tie the game. And then fucking Jackson Arnold, and that's not on Jackson. Whatever. Ball comes out. They pick it up. They score. Oklahoma had no business losing this game, but they found a way to lose this game. And so, we're live right now. So it's me and Hose's show. We've been doing this for a long time. Me and Hose have been doing this for a long time. Hose is my guy. Alex is a guy that I knew from college for a long time. We used to walk to class together, talked in class. I fucking love Alex. And he's pissed off. So I got to give the floor to Alex. Alex, I mean, I don't think I can say it any better, but, where you at?
All I got to say is you let Drew Pine beat you. Drew fucking Pine. Come on. And then, I don't know. You say it's not Jackson's fault. It is Jackson's fault, man. He just loves fumbling the ball. Oh, my God.
He doesn't love fumbling the ball.
He does. He just kept fumbling the ball, and then the defense, bro. You let Drew Pine beat you. They scored in 57 seconds. Drew Pine just indescribable. It's bad.
Yeah, and fun fact: Drew Pine did double up on Jackson's stats today. He had 143 yards and 3 touchdowns, and we could not find an offensive or a passing touchdown to save our lives from our quarterback. It had to come from our backup or running back number 2 in Taylor Tatum on a trick play. That's how Oklahoma had to score today, which cool play and all, but the fact that has to be the way that you score is this entire offensive staff has to be fired. If Brent Venables keeps his job or not is the seat is getting hot for him. I think that's pretty clear.
Hold on. Do you guys see this comment about Jackson Arnold being the worst quarterback in OU history? That's ridiculous. And that's not true.
Drew Pine made him look bad, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
All I know is I think Jackson Arnold has to give up his NIL money. That's bad. It's bad. It's everybody's fault, but come on. You had Farouk and Burks. I know he didn't have time to throw, but it's just our front seven is pretty decent, and Drew Pine was we got 1 sack. Our Mason Thomas on
we have 4 sacks.
Well, on that one drive on obvious pass plays, you get 1 sack, and you don't really.
I agree with you. Once fucking Mason Thomas sacked the quarterback, 3rd and 16, the game should have been over. The defense sold us. At the end of the day, Oklahoma lost the game that they should have won. We found a way to lose that game. That game was over, and we found a way to lose it.
The pass to Burden, Jacoby Johnson is falling.
We had 4 turnovers.
How does that happen?
That's not on Brent Venables. That's not on Jackson Arnold.
Yes, it is. Arnold turned the ball.
At some point, it's on someone. They're not preparing the players. The offense is very clearly the problem. You can't do anything offensively. The offensive line sucks. The wide receivers are not great. Jalil Farouk is still very much hurt. He's not fully recovered from his foot injury.
He was subbed out late in the game. He was in fucking street clothes, essentially.
He wasn't. He didn't play very much. He didn't really play. I mean, there was a play where his feet got tangled up, and I think they were held him up for precaution after that. But yeah,
it's
boys.
Brent Venables at this point has to hope that he gets a pass because the offense sucks so much. Because right now he doesn't look like a quality head coach. Like if Brent Venables was a head coach of let's say that he was a head coach of Oklahoma State. I know that wouldn't happen, but if he was the coach at Oklahoma State, we would all think he's terrible. Like there's no reason to try to defend what he's currently putting on the field right now. His defense might be good, but it's not that good.
I used to think, all the way through, I've been a Sooner fan for a very long time. Watched a lot of games. I used to think, that Rose Bowl game, 2017, we lost that Rose Bowl game. That was dog shit. That one hurt. This loss kind of hurts a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because, I know that this Oklahoma team right now is not very good. You know what I mean? They're very injured. They're very hurt. There's a lot of issues across the entire field for Oklahoma right now. But this is a game that Oklahoma literally had in their back pocket. Billy Bowman recovers that fumble, scoop and score, 23-16 Oklahoma with 2 minutes to go in the game. And somehow Missouri scores 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes of football time. This loss is it's up there with the worst I've ever felt in my life. It's hard to swallow. It's hard to fathom. You know what I mean? Like when the show ends tonight and I'm going to bed, I'm going to lose sleep over this game. I'm going to replay moments of this game. I'm going to replay the Billy Bowman scoop and score. I'm going to replay the Armisen Thomas sack to make it 3rd and 16. And somehow Oklahoma found a way to lose this game. And that's, what sucks right now is we have the second longest streak in the country as far as bowl eligibility. So this was a great opportunity to get to 6 wins, get to bowl eligibility. Now we got to fucking beat Alabama or LSU. You got to beat Bama at home, which, maybe, we'll see. Or you got to go on the road and beat fucking LSU. We had it in our fucking back pocket, boys. And we found a way to say, you know what? I don't want to win. Here's the game.
You're muted.
How's you muted, bud?
Thank you. I want to get to the comment from Jacob because that is something that is absurd. And that's, again, a problem with the offense and how unwilling they are to try anything. They're too scared. I tweeted it out during the game. This offensive line, not only are they bad, but they're soft. They're just 5 nice guys that are trying to protect our quarterback, and they're not very good at it. The Missouri offense didn't look good until they actually tried to get things down the field. And that's when things were happening for them. Oklahoma didn't try their first explosive play until the second or third to last play in the entire game. And it was a pass to Brennan Thompson, which was swatted away. You try it once. The second to last play, like Jacob mentioned here, you throw a 2-yard out to Bauer Sharp. And the obsession with trying to make Bauer Sharp the playmaker for this offense is infuriating. That's another topic. And then your last play is terrible awareness from Jackson Arnold. Slide. You stop the clock at 1 or 2 seconds, call a timeout, and see if you can Hail Mary that bitch to the end zone or literally anything else. But he decides to keep running. He's not looking at the clock and try to do backyard football, which works less than 1% of the time. Like, you have to just be extremely lucky, and it obviously didn't work.
And then, yeah, he did throw it to – he did lateral to Bauer Sharp, and then Bauer Sharp just threw it out of bounds. Like, yeah, the Bauer Sharp. And Brandon, I've been talking about Bauer Sharp since the beginning of the season. He's not. I was telling you, he's not.
He texts me all the time. Me and Alex text a lot about OU football.
And Brandon was defending him, and I was like, he is not any good, man. He is not.
Alex, I'm a Sooner. I defend Sooners. Alex,
you defend Kanai Walker. Bauer Sharp, there's other people you defend that I've just been out on since like week 2, week 3.
I love this program more than I love pretty much anything that's ever existed. Like, this is Oklahoma football is my life. And I'm pretty sure Alex, I know you. You're pretty much the same way.
Yeah.
And Hose has a wife, and that's probably his. So Hose for Hose is probably
Number 2.
his wife. Number 1. Number 2 is OU football.
Yeah.
Am I wrong, Hose?
I'm muted. Sorry.
Did you hear anything that just happened?
Yeah, no, I heard you. You're right.
But no,
Right? Like, obviously you pick your wife first, Carly first, and then you pick OU football. And the problem right now is, I don't know the problem right now. It's if you, here's the thing, and this is why I have a show. It's fun. We have a show that has a decent amount of viewers, and we can talk about it as boys being boys right now. Alex or Hose, this question is posed to both of you. To both of you. Pretend tomorrow that you wake up as the head coach of Oklahoma football. What is your first move?
Fire everyone on the offense.
Me personally, I'm hiring Joe Craddock and I'm bringing in Mensa because I'm done with Jackson Arnold. I don't think he's a quarterback of the future. I'm done.
I disagree. Hose, what'd you say?
I think that's actually a pretty good plan. Like, as an actual plan, because Jackson Arnold, as much as we want him to be the guy, he is just poor at reading an offense, the defense that's laid out in front of him. He has not been good at all this season. And you can give him the excuse he hasn't had a quarterback coach all season. He didn't have a quarterback coach all off season. That's fine. If you want to keep him for one more year, I don't know how much improvement he can make through the next 9 months to prepare for next season. I hope that he could, because he's shown that he has the ability and has the arm to be a good quarterback. But the quarterback position isn't an athletic position. You don't have to be the best athlete on the field to be a great quarterback. You have to be the smartest player on the field. You have to be able to know what's going to happen and anticipate. And I think not having the quarterback coach probably hurt him quite a bit. But you have to hit the restart button somehow. If you went Alex's route and hired Joe Craddock and somehow brought in Darian Mensa, like, he looked good, and he looked good against Oklahoma. He looked good before Oklahoma. He's looked good after Oklahoma. Like, it's not a terrible plan. Personally, I think if you want to keep Jackson Arnold, let's say that's the plan, you keep him for your quarterback for the next couple of years. You have to bring in a guy like Arbuckle, even Craddock. I'm a big Casey Woods guy, but it didn't seem like he really is someone that's going to get the opportunity of offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. You have to hire someone that has proven track record of developing quarterbacks and getting them to the next level.
Offensive coordinator wise, I agree. We have to find we have to find a good OC, and we can throw out candidates all day long. Like you like Casey Woods, you like Craddock, you like all these guys. You like Arbuckle. That's fine. Alex and I have talked for a long time. I have become a big GJ Kinney guy. That's fine. The OC, I 100% agree with. Jackson Arnold is not the problem. Jackson Arnold has the arm talent that nobody else in the country has. He is, talent-wise, he's better than anybody in the country. He's better than Quinn Ewers. He's better than fucking Carson Beck. He's better than anybody. DJ Lagway from Florida. He's better talent-wise than anybody in the country. And he's not protected. He's not there. Look at the Ole Miss game. A game that, hey, Ole Miss beat the shit out of Georgia today. Ran them out of the fucking stadium. Disgusting game. J.A. was right there with him. Threw a great ball to fucking Jacob Jordan to end the half. 14-10 Oklahoma. And then, again, we forget how to play football for a second half. Jackson Arnold is not the issue, boys. And it's...
The whole offense is the issue. That's the thing. It's the whole offense.
We have no offensive line, Alex.
Then do you want to fire Coach B? Because he's not developing, nor is he recruiting. Like everyone's gonna say, well, you got 2 5-star tackles, or you got a 5-star and a 4-star tackle in this year's class, but he's had plenty of years before this year to try to address that problem. And even if he recruits good players, like Caden Greed aside, we're not even gonna mention him. Let's think about everyone else that's still on this team.
Hey, Christian.
Hasn't even considered playing any of them until he absolutely
Oh,
has.
man. Hold on. Time out, host. Forget about football for a second. Do you watch the comments here?
I saw that.
Oh, you saw that. Pin that shit.
I'm not going to pin it.
Christian, what's your phone number, babe? Email us.
Jacob, yeah, we're clearly on the same boat here, man. And I appreciate the super. I think that's what these are called.
Hey, Jacob, it is Veterans Day weekend. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. I didn't know that. Thanks for informing us. But yeah,
I mean, some of us are part of the military, so like you gotta respect that.
Right.
You're right. Yeah, this offense is shitty. I think if you're okay with moving on from Coach B, that's got to be where.
By the way, are we just getting rid of the fact that some girl just asked for Alex's phone number?
Yeah, we're moving on there.
We're trying to find love on this show.
We're not trying to find love on this show.
Kristen.
Billy. No, we're moving on.
Kristen, I'm gonna text you, babe. My number.
No. Signetti. No, we're moving on. Signetti is a great example of what we need.
Alex, what if Kristen is hot?
Brandon, move on.
I'm a guy's guy. What if she's hot, man? We don't know.
Brent Venables has said all the right things to seem like he's a good head coach.
He is a good head coach.
Put something out on the field. He has not been a good head coach. Through 3 seasons, he's put a.
Oh, hold on. Time out for a second. This shit pisses me off. The Woods Water Mizzou podcast. I like these guys. I like these guys a lot. And I know you're listening, not because we're live right now. That pisses me off. Oklahoma lost that game. Missouri did not win that game. Oklahoma lost that game.
It doesn't matter.
That pisses me off. Kristen, give me your phone number. I'll give it to Alex. I'm not moving on.
All right. Well, we're going to move on. Alex and I are moving on. Going back to Signetti because...
Oh, Kristen might be a guy. That kind of sucks. Alex, sorry, brother.
Okay. The entire offense is the problem. Even the wide receivers, like Emmett Jones has recruited well. He's a good recruiter, but the wide receivers can't create separation.
See, that's what I'm saying. If you fire Bill Beatenbowl, you got to fire the whole offensive coaching staff. Like, just start fresh. Like,
not Murray. Xavier Robinson might be a dog.
Where's he been all season?
Right?
Come
That's
on.
what I'm saying.
Like,
that guy might be a dog. So, like, DeMarco Murray might not be the problem because Xavier Robinson, that motherfucker can run the ball. He kind of just gets the ball and puts his head down and just fucking runs through a motherfucker's face, like Marshawn said.
Yeah,
I don't understand where
coaching problem.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just think that DeMarco's his rotation has not been consistent at all. Like ever since he's been hired. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm just out on the whole offensive coach side. If you fire Beatenbowl, you fire everybody.
Yeah, I think that's more than fair because none of them have shown that they can take the lead. And something that we were talking about during the game was there's not a leader on this team, on this offense. Like
Jacob Matthews, thank you for the $2 again, man.
Yes, appreciate it. We're gonna move all the money that we earn on YouTube. We're just gonna send it to Brent Venables. Say, hey, go hire any offensive coordinator.
What do you mean the stats say otherwise? Like I'm about to lose my mind. I'm about to lose my fucking mind here.
I mean, he's not wrong though. Our offense.
What stats is he talking about?
Offensive stats.
Yeah, we sucked on offense.
That's the stats say otherwise.
Drew Pine cooked us. That's all you gotta know.
No, Oklahoma lost that football game.
We did, but we let Drew Pine cook us.
No, I mean OU lost that game versus Missouri winning that game. I'm about to fucking freak out.
All right. We're moving for a second. Dude, it's just I don't know. Brandon and I were talking about it during the game. It's like there's no one on this offense that will just be the guy to punch someone in the face on the defense. Like kind of that Baker Mayfield attitude that
I think Javonte Barnes probably would have been that guy. I think we missed Javonte Barnes a lot today, but then we had Xavier Robinson. A lot. So I just think Barnes is a leader, and also Farouk, but Farouk is clearly not 100%. So and also like Arnold isn't I know he's young, but I just see he's too like quiet. He doesn't have that the swagger that Baker has, you know. So like I don't know. Like I said, I'm just out on Arnold. I know Brandon loves him. Brandon, you when Michael Hawkins took over for the Tennessee game, you were all in on Michael Hawkins. What happened to that?
I'm a Sooner.
So Brandon's
that's the answer.
Whatever actually ends up happening. You just
I am a Sooner.
Might be changed.
And I want Oklahoma to win every game. And I think right now Jackson Arnold is the best player you have.
That doesn't mean he's great though. Like this is a good point. Cam Ward, we watched that Miami game, and yes, they lost. So we're not going to sit here and pretend like they played an amazing game today. But Cam Ward was able to keep them in there because he can anticipate what his receiver is supposed to do. His offensive line is way better than what we have. So that's kind of that is the glaring issue with this Oklahoma offense. There's nothing gives the quarterback time. Rarely do they actually create a hole. Alex mentioned it. Javonte Barnes would have probably been a game changer for Oklahoma, but he wasn't there. And then they got away from the run game. You need someone that can help either Jackson or whoever's your quarterback for next year learn how to anticipate throws. Because if you have to wait until they're open, they're not open. The defensive back will get there. You're going to get sacked. Fumble. I mean, the fumble issues today were just ridiculous.
Do y'all see what Jacob's saying right now in the chat? Like he's literally onto something. It's that. If we have any sort of offensive line next year, if the receivers come back, like Brent Venables says, right? You know, I mean, he says that all five receivers apparently have said that they want to come back next season. If they come back next year and you can protect the quarterback, this team is nasty. Like it's nasty. This was our best shot at 6 wins, and we blew it. But next year, I think this is a very good football team.
Why? Who would lead anything to be significantly better? I think there's also some coaching stuff and game management issues, like the constant late substitutions that either lead to delay of games or wasted timeouts. Constantly having late calls. Like all of that stuff, you have to clean that up. Like that's preparation. And a coach looking at what's going on the field and being like, hey, like we got to go. The delay of game after the fake punt, like you can't have that happen. If you execute your fake punt perfectly, your offense should be ready on the sideline, following as everything's going on, to be ready to snap the ball.
I agree. You know that fake punt is a 43-yard gain, and we're set up first and goal, and the next play we take a delay game. Next play sack. It's that was all bad, right? I mean, I agree with that. It's Oklahoma left a lot of opportunities on the field. I do think Oklahoma played a better football game than Missouri. I think. Like I said, boys, like I've been an OU fan for a very long time. That Georgia Rose Bowl game still hurts me. This is like right up there with that. Like this is a game that we literally had no business losing. That 3rd and 16 play. You know what I mean? Like you get a sack, it's 3rd and 16. How do you allow a motherfucker to be wide open down the sideline? And then not only that, how do you let fucking Theo Weiss, an ex-Sooner, beat you to the pylon? Or not the pylon, but in the end zone. And he gets a foot down. And then you fumble the ball and they score a touchdown. Like that should hurt, man. That was one of the hardest games that I've ever watched as a fan.
Let's talk a little bit about the defense too, because you
They sucked.
bringing that play up.
They were not very good.
They weren't great. And another coaching thing. I don't even think that was bad coverage from Eli Bowen. But when you see
he was right there, he actually played decent defense on that pass ball.
He
just push him out of bounds. That's all he needed to do. Just push him out. Like, just tap him as the ball's coming in. That's all he needed to do.
Get him out of bounds. But if you see your smallest defensive back on one of their taller receivers in the red zone, timeout. Let's get Jacoby Johnson and Kenai Walker out there. Anyone but Eli Bowen in that situation.
What was that? That was what, 2nd and goal or 3rd and goal for Missouri? Whenever that play happened.
Yeah, one of those.
2nd and goal, probably.
It's there's so much. I genuinely think that this is all of it can be wound down to coaching, either game management, just allowing just dumb stuff to happen. And at some point, it just like when Lincoln Riley was a coach, then he does it now at USC. We're so close. We're a couple plays away. Now Brent Venables just saying like we have to clean these things up and get better, play better, execute. You're not executing, brother. What's going on? Why aren't you executing? You basically had the same personnel all year. There's no reason to not know what your players are capable of, even if they're younger or less talented. You know what they can do, but you put them in a position to try to do something they either can't do or you're not coaching them to improve and develop them.
Alex?
I guess, I just think, the defense, the defense is improved, but still, it's just, I know we got Dolby out, we got Gentry. By the way, I do think Dolby is probably our most important player, more than anybody on this defense. I think the drop off from Dolby to the next person is bad. Like, you have Deshaun McCullough lined up one-on-one with Burden. Like, come on, like he's a pass rusher. He is not a guy that needs to be out covering dudes, especially Luther Burden. So like the drop off from Dolby to Cheetah, or from Cheetah from Dolby to the next person is insane. But Gentry, he just can't seem to stay healthy. But I think like legit, if those two were healthy, I think the secondary fixes some of the issues. But then you got Jacoby Johnson falling. Like, I think he had a chance to make a play on that play to Burden at the 10-yard line, but Jacoby was getting just he hasn't been as good as I thought he would be. But and then the move to receiver just did not work out at all, like we had hoped.
They haven't played him there yet. Like we've never seen him at receiver, so we don't know, and that's the thing that
they should have stuck him just in one spot, and I think they just probably messed up his just moving in positions kind of probably messed him up a bit. I don't know.
How does Brent Venables keep making these game management mistakes with wasting timeouts? I think that's the most glaring issue to me.
When did he waste a timeout?
I don't think in this game it happened.
He did in the second half. He what did he do? I think I forgot. He wasted a timeout in the second half, but I mean,
yeah, it was like third quarter or early fourth.
Yeah, I think it was early fourth. I forgot what was going on, but yeah, he wasted a timeout. But honestly, we can't get the ball down the field, so it didn't matter anyway.
Yeah, and again, like that's when that's when Mizzou was able to have some sort of success. Like they weren't thinking every play was going to be complete down the field, but they forced Drew Pine to throw that thing 20, 30 yards down the field, and let's hope something works. And it worked. And they put themselves in the red zone, put themselves in a position to score. And again, Oklahoma, it's not like he even needed that much time. He literally got the ball, you know, worked his progression, took his couple steps backwards, and slung it. He wasn't waiting for something to get open, and that's the most frustrating part about this offense is they're too scared to take any shots past 10 yards. And it's the same thing that's happened for the last 10 games basically. It's not getting any better.
You know, and it's I forgot anything I was gonna say. I'm flabbergasted. Like this is a game that we should have won, and I was trying out here to find Alex Love as a a consolation, and it just didn't work out. We shouldn't have lost the game. I thought when it's 23-16 and you have a fucking you have a defensive minded head coach, and I'm a Brent Venables guy through and through, and I will still stick with Brent Venables, but 23-16, Oklahoma leads with 2 minutes to go, and they get a couple first downs. That's fine. I think that's just naturally part of trying to defend a lead. Is you're going to give up certain things and try to take time off the clock. You know what I mean? But then when it's 3rd and 16 and you give up a fucking wide open receiver down the sideline, that hurts. And then you let fucking Theo Weiss, of all fucking people, of all motherfuckers on the planet, you let Theo Weiss, an ex-Sooner, do that shit to you. Like I said, boys, like this is up there with the most heartbreaking losses I've ever felt in my life. You know what I mean? Like, I still think that Georgia loss in the Rose Bowl is number 1, but like this very well may be number 2. It's because now I don't know if we become bowl eligible now. You know what I mean? Like, we still got 2 games on the schedule, and I'll be at the Alabama game with you hosts. Me and you will be at the Alabama game together. I don't know if we win another game this year.
I like to think we do, but I don't know if you watched I was watching the Bama and LSU game. Bama does look like they finally woke up, but LSU did look like they took a step down. So we'll see. Maybe the LSU game, but it's a road game, so who knows?
So we're gonna go to Baton Rouge to beat them?
Probably not. But they scored 6 points today against Bama, but I mean our defense sucks, so I don't think our defense is stop anybody. We can't stop Drew Pine, so we're not going to stop Messmeyer.
I might not go as far as they suck, but I'm with you, Alex. I don't think that we're getting.
I just feel like the team's confidence is just like shot. Like the defense is better than it should be better than it is right now. Like we should have stopped Drew Pine. Like,
do you think that? Let's not even think about the team anymore. Going to like administration. I think there's any thought in their mind where, because even during the head coaching search, it seemed like they were pretty keyed in on Brent Venables. They didn't really look at Dan Lanning that hard. Like if we look back at how everything was reported, it was Brent Venables was the guy from the moment that Lincoln Riley left. Within 24 hours, it was Brent Venables. Dan Lanning was available. You had a lot of other options, but Brent Venables was the guy for a week and a half before he got hired. You think they look back and think maybe we should have done a more extensive search and actually looked at all of our options and just had Brent Venables as, because they knew he would take the job. This was always a job that Brent Venables said he would drop being a defensive coordinator and go to be the head coach if that opportunity came up.
Yeah, no, I think they interviewed Dan Lanning, but I think, like you said, they were zeroed in on Brent Venables. So, I mean, I know for sure they would go back and hire Dan Lanning if they could today, because that's like, yeah, we basically could have had Dan Lanning, but we chose BV because for the same reason we hired Seth Luttrell, because he's an OU guy. Well, BV, I know BV went to K-State, but he worked here before. It's the nepotism hires that keep happening. Joe John Finley, so.
Which is crazy because that's the one thing that the most successful coaches at this school have had no connection to Oklahoma.
Right.
But we keep going back to that well, hoping one of them works. All right.
Did y'all forget about that Oklahoma won 10 games last season with Brent Venables as the head guy?
Who was the 2 losses to?
Who was the head coach last year, Hose?
You didn't witness the year before when he went 6-6.
6-7.
That was the first year in the program.
6-7.
That's
so.
You're going to take lumps your first year.
Just okay. He had a good season last year, but he hired Seth Luttrell. Like, come on. That's the part that I go back to. Like, I know it was for like continuity to try to keep everything the same, but still, like, he made that hire. That's
you can't quit on Brent Venables after this team doesn't. It's you guys, like, it's 1/6 of Oklahoma right now. It's 1/5 of Oklahoma. It's 1/7, 1/8. It's not the full Oklahoma team. Like, it's not. KD's not playing. Gentry's not playing. You're missing 5 receivers until tonight. I get it. Tonight fucking Burks and Farouk came back, and Farouk got hurt.
They're probably out for the year.
In this game, this is not a full Oklahoma team, and we have no offensive line.
That's a bad excuse as far in the season, though.
Huh?
That's a poor excuse as far into the season. We're not the only team dealing with injuries. We're dealing with a lot of injuries, but Kentucky looks better than Oklahoma does. I don't think that if you put Oklahoma versus any SEC team today, I don't think Oklahoma's favored.
Mississippi State.
Maybe. They even put up a fight. They put a bigger fight up against Texas than we did. It wasn't a good one, but it was better than ours.
Hey, did Oklahoma or Georgia put up a better fight against Ole Miss?
That doesn't
in
matter.
Oxford.
We still lost.
But you just said put up a fight.
Still lost.
But I think that's the thing that frustrates me a lot is, this team offensively looked actually pretty decent in the first half against Ole Miss, which is a very good defense. They're moving the ball, they're running the ball, and I get it. Javonte Barnes is not playing, but you're still running the ball. You know what I mean? And you're scoring the ball. You're scoring points in the first half against Ole Miss in Oxford, and then tonight you just you don't really do anything until the game's on the line, and then they drop that trick play where Tatum throws a touchdown pass to Jackson Arnold, which, by the way, that was a fantastic play call, and it worked out to perfection. That was gorgeous. Ties the game up.
The Logan Howland block was key. That was he went out in space and blocked the defensive back. So yeah, no, I like that from Howland, but he definitely shouldn't be out there. I think that. So you mentioned Ole Miss game. I think we were hitting on all cylinders in the first half when Sexton was healthy. That offensive line was playing their best game by far this season, up until Sexton went down. When Sexton went down, the drop off from him to Howland it was massive. And then that's whenever the second half when we gave up the not 9 sacks. I think we had given up 1 sack with Sexton on the line. But I just think the whole offensive line just lost its confidence when Sexton went down, and that showed up today. especially with Spencer Brown at right tackle. That he is horrible.
Hey, Dud, are you on dope? Is that a me thing? I don't do drugs, Mr. Texas 729.
Yeah, I mean, this entire thing is kind of just. It's tough to. There's not really anything that Oklahoma can do at this point. For the rest of this season's basically screwed.
Yeah, fuck, I'm with Jacob. If we're doing drugs, let's share it. I try to find fucking Alex Love tonight. The game sucked. I try to find Alex Love. I'm trying to do drugs with Jacob. At this point, we're just having a good time.
All right. Well, I think that kind of wraps it up then for today. We vented. We went through it. I think I'm good with calling it a season here, boys. This is a shitty Oklahoma season.
Hold on. Right before we leave, I'm gonna ask both of you guys a question real quick, and then we'll leave, and then we'll end the show. Does Oklahoma win another game this season?
If I had to bet, I'm not betting any money on it.
You guys both say no, and unfortunately, I agree with you. So
I'm not mad at it. I honestly do not want to see this team in another game. So I don't know. I think we just got to focus on next season. So
exactly.
It's kind of a good thing because I guess you can recruit your ass off. You can hire whoever you want as OC right away and just recruit. But what sucks is the young guys, EPL, is not going to get those 3 weeks of practice time.
This was our best shot, and we found a way to lose. Just unfortunate, and you know what I mean. But I do believe next year we have a real shot at being very good
if we can get an offensive line. I just don't think we can build an offensive line out the portal.
We can't. I think it
like,
has to be the guys.
It's going to be better than it was this year, but that's not saying much. Like I think you just got to roll with what you got right now, then maybe add like 1 or 2, but that's it. You can't build a whole offensive line. Like you tried to do that this offseason and it didn't work. And there's also not going to be like we got lucky with Walter Rouse. If we can get a second Walter Rouse type of level of player, maybe, but there's going to be other teams offering money for like other offensive tackles and stuff like that. And who knows what offensive tackles are even going to enter the portal, if there's even going to be quality depth there.
And we'll see what Oklahoma loses in the portal. Seems like
exactly, yeah. Like who's going to want to come back
away all season?
Yeah,
we saw him for like 3 games. I don't think he's coming back next year.
Alex, are you an OKC guy?
Of course.
Hey, so for the Bama game, me and Jose will be there. I think the 3 of us should hook up at Edna's.
I'm down.
And maybe bring Caden, whatever her name was.
All right. We'll wrap it up there for the live stream. We appreciate everyone joining. See you guys next time.